Regular meeting of the St. Joseph County Council, June 12, 2018 is now called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation, which will be given this evening by Councilman Martin D'Andrea. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, we come together tonight as the County Council of St. Joseph County. Please bless us in making decisions which are good for the majority of the people in our community. Give us the wisdom to make these decisions and guide us. Also, as we prepare to celebrate Father's Day this coming weekend, Sunday, please be with all the fathers of this world, the people we associate with as our fathers, and bless them. May we memorialize them and enjoy them for all that they have contributed in our lives. Amen.
Thank you, Councilman D'Andrea. You're welcome. At this time, I'd like to make an announcement that Bill number 2618, the proposed Fernwood project, and Bill number 4218, item F only, the appropriation for the leaf pickup. Both of those bills have been tabled at the request of the petitioner. Next are petitions, communications, and miscellaneous matters. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the May 9th, 2018 meeting? Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
My teller sheet.
The ayes have it. The minutes from the May 9th, 2018 meeting are approved. Next on the agenda, first readings. Clerk, will you please, I'm sorry, report from County Auditor.
Report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Hammond. Report from County Commissioners. No report. Thank you, Mr. Stelny. Any reports from any council special committees? Hearing none, now we'll get to first reading. Clerk, will you please read Bill number 4318?
Notice vacating a public way, a public place located wholly within the unincorporated portion of St. Joseph County to wit, petitioners Lindsay Santa.
Bill number 4318 is assigned to the Land Use Planning Committee. That concludes first readings for this evening. Next is resolution bill number 4118. Clerk, will you please read that bill?
A resolution of the St. Joseph County Council, Penn Township Assessor, accepting the authorization of the transfer of personal property from the Board of Public Works and Safety of the City of Mishawaka, Indiana. Petitioner Penn Township Assessor.
Thank you. Petitioner?
Good evening, council members. Michael Castellan, Penn Township Assessor. What a great night to be here. We have a great example of intergovernmental cooperation between the mayor of Mishawaka, who I commend for allowing us to be here tonight. He's offered up through a resolution with the Common Council of Mishawaka a vehicle for the cost of $1 to the county. This is in the best interest of both Penn Township, the county, and Mishawaka because it allows us to get out into the field and have access to the assessment process, but more importantly, it cuts down on the mileage that we would charge through the normal general fund. So in my opinion, I think this is a win-win for both the council, and I'm proud to be here tonight, and I would take any questions from the council.
Any questions, Mr. Castellan, from any council members? Thank you, sir. Hearing none, we'll open the public hearing on bill number 4118. Does anyone wish to address the council in favor of this bill? Does anyone wish to address the council in opposition to the bill? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on 4118. Do I hear a motion? The motion to pass was made by Mr. McCahill and seconded by Mr. Nolan. Any further comments from any council member in regards to 4118? Yes, sir.
I'd just like to commend Mayor Woods on his generosity towards our Penn Township Assessor, and it's just an outstanding thing he's doing for our entire county.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Hearing none, clerk, will you please take the roll?
Krasinski.
Yes.
Nolan.
Yes, and also thank you, Mr. Casselon, for participation.
Ms. Hess? Mr. Lloyd?
Yes.
Mr. Tanzarite?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Aye.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Nolan?
Yes, twice.
I'm sorry, Mr. Morton?
He must have saw that Southland Tribune article. That
Saw it.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Let the record show that bill number 4118 is passed by a vote of 8-0. Next are salary amendments. Clerk, will you please read bill number 3818?
3818, an ordinance amending ordinance 6017, the same being an ordinance establishing salaries and fixing the number of employees of St. Joseph County for the year 2018, petitioner, public defender.
Mr. McCahill, committee report, please, sir.
Mr. President, this comes to council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you very much. Petitioner?
Thank you. I'm Neil Weisman, Chief Deputy Public Defender for St. Joseph County, 212 South Taylor Street. This basically is in tandem with item number 13 on the agenda, 3418. We had a vacancy in the juvenile division. We moved one person from misdemeanor court over to juvenile, and we had to hire someone for the misdemeanor court. No new monies, just different salary levels.
Any questions from council for the petitioner? Thank you, sir. Hearing none, we'll open the public hearing on bill number 3818. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of this bill? Does anyone wish to speak in opposition to the bill? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on bill 3818. Do I have a motion on the bill?
Motion approved.
Motion to pass bill number 3818 was made by Councilman Nolan. It was seconded by Councilwoman Hess. Any further comments from any council member on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mr. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Deloy,
Yes.
Mr. Tanzarite?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Aye.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
The record show that bill number 3818 was passed by a vote of 8-0. Clerk, will you please read the next bill, bill number 3918?
An ordinance amending ordinance 6017, the same being an ordinance establishing salaries and fixing the number of employees of St. Joseph County for the year 2018, petitioner, prosecutor.
Mr. McCahill, committee report, please, sir.
Mr. President, 3918 comes to council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you very much. Petitioner?
Yes, Bob Reisenhoover with the prosecutor's office, 10th floor of this building. We're here asking to appropriate a $390,849 grant for the APS department in the prosecutor's office. It will pay the salaries of 8 investigators and the director and $23,000 worth of operating expenses. It's a one-year grant.
Any questions for Mr. Reisenhover from council? Thank you, sir. Hearing none, we'll open the public hearing on bill 3918. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of the bill? Does anyone wish to speak in opposition to the bill? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on 3918. Do I hear a motion on the bill? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion to pass bill number 3918 was made by Councilman Nolan. It was seconded by Councilwoman Hess. Any further comments from any council member on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, please take the roll.
Ms. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Deloy,
Yes.
Mr. Tanzarite?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Aye.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Mr. Nolan?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Let the record show that bill
Thank
number 3918 was passed by a vote of 8-0. Next is public hearing of public comment on fiscal matters. All financial issues were heard and discussed at our May 22nd, 2018 meeting. Is there anyone who wishes to speak in favor of any financial issue on tonight's agenda? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition of any financial issue on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, public comment is now closed. Clerk, will you please read bill number 4218?
An ordinance appropriating and transferring monies for the purpose here specified for the several departments here listed in St. Joseph County government.
Thank you, sir. May I have a motion on bill number 4218 excluding item F because it was tabled this evening at the request of the petitioner?
Got another question. In addition to F, was, you guys, did the coroner remove his request? It's not,
He is submitting a new proposal.
okay.
He's submitting a new proposal, wants to come back to committee.
Thank you.
So may I have a motion on bill number 4218 excluding item F?
Motion for passage.
A motion to pass bill number 4218 excluding item F was made by Councilman Tanzarite. It was seconded by Councilman Nolan. Any further discussion on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mr. Deloitte?
Yes.
Mr. Tanzarite?
Yes.
Mr. Cato?
Aye.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Mr. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Motion passes 8 to 0.
Thank you. Let the record show that bill number 4218 excluding item F was passed by a vote of 8 to 0. Clerk, will you please read the next bill, bill number 2418?
An ordinance amending and supplementing Title 15 Land Use, Chapter 154, Planning and Zoning of the St. Joseph County Code as amended for properties located at 13388 State Road 23 from OB Office Buffer District to Other Office District. Petitioner's top property management LLC.
Mr. Nolan, committee report, please, sir.
Mr. President, bill number 24-18 comes to full council with a favorable recommendation.
Good evening, Council. Jordan White with Area Plan. The petitioner is requesting a zone change of the property outline in red from OB Office Buffer to O Office District. On site is a former church that's used for offices. Surrounding properties to the east and south are single-family homes zoned to our single-family district. To the north is a daycare and single-family homes zoned to our single-family district. And to the west is a single-family home zoned C commercial district, and several homes zoned R single-family district. Here's a view of the site. Here's a better view of the entire site. Just the northern portion is going to be rezoned. The site plan shows that the structures will remain. The petitioner is not proposing any changes at this time. There was a written commitment brought to you from the Area Plan Commission that requested that before any increase in uses that they would get approval from IDEM and the Indiana State Department of Health. This comes to you with a favorable recommendation from the Area Plan Commission. I'd be happy to answer questions.
Any questions? Council? Thank you.
The petitioner is here.
Petitioner?
Yep, sorry.
Please state your name and address for the record, sir. You have 5 minutes to address the council.
Yes, my name is Darren Gerber. I'm the owner of Top Property Management LLC. The address is 13388 State Road 23, Granger, Indiana, 46530. As Jordan had stated, we're just seeking the zoning change from office buffer to office. We feel that the use of this property is consistent with the surrounding properties and the direction that it's going. That's all I have to say.
Any questions from council for the petitioner? Mr. Nolan?
Yes, you agree with the written commitments? Is that-
Yes, I do agree with all the written commitments, and we're not asking for any special variances or any kind of changes to any kind of requirements.
Thank you.
Any other questions from council for the petitioner? Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll now open the public hearing on Bill 2418. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of this bill? Does anyone wish to speak in opposition to the bill? Hearing none, the public hearing is now closed. May I have a motion on 2418? Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion to pass bill number 2418 was made by Councilwoman Cassidy, was seconded by Councilman Nolan. Any further comments from any council member on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mr. Tanzarite?
Yes.
Mr. Cato?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Aye.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Mr. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Mrs. Hess. Mr. Swan.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Record reflected, passed 8-0.
Thank you. Let the record show that bill number 2418 passed by a vote of 8-0. Clerk, next bill, bill number 2518.
Ordinance amending and supplementing Title 15 Land Usage, Chapter 154 Planning and Zoning of the St. Johns County Code as amended for properties located at 13001 State Road 23 from C Commercial District to Commercial District. Petitioner Mutual Bank.
Mr. Nolan, committee report, please, sir.
President, bill number 25-18 comes to full council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you very much.
The petitioner is requesting a zone change in the area outlined in red from C Commercial District to C Commercial District. This is being done because the site is tied to a site plan, and this will eliminate that site plan that they are tied to. On site is currently a drive-up ATM. To the north, across Adams, is Mary Frank Elementary School, zoned R single family and C Commercial District. To the east are businesses, zone C Commercial. To the south are businesses, zone C Commercial, and to the west is a Walgreens, zone C Commercial. The site plan shows that the ATM will stay in a 1912 square foot building. Will be constructed to house Jimmy John's and Dunkin' Donuts. This comes to you from the Area Plan Commission with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you.
Cool.
Any questions for Area Plan? Petitioner? Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. Mr. Canzarek?
Was there an area monstrance?
There was not. No. Thanks.
Petitioner?
Hi, Mike Huber. I'm a planner with Avonmarsh Consultants Incorporated. We're at 750 Lincoln Way East, South Bend, 46601. We're here for Mutual Bank. The site was originally developed with the ATM, but that was also approved for a bank location. They never built, so that's the reason that it was requiring the zoning change from the original site plan. So we're like you said, we're just looking at working with our clients, Great Lakes Capital, in this development. We feel that the area is commercial. We're not adding or subtracting any curb cuts that don't already exist, so we're not adding additional to any additional negative impacts to the traffic flow there.
Thank you. Any questions from council for petitioner? Thank you, sir. We'll now open a public hearing on Bill 2518. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of the bill? Does anyone wish to speak in opposition of the bill? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on Bill 2518. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to pass.
We have a second? Motion to pass Bill number 2518 is made by Councilman Canzarek, and seconded by Councilwoman Hess. Any further discussion from any council member on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mr. McCabe.
Aye.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski.
Yes.
Mr. Nolan.
Yes.
Ms. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Canzarek.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Let the record show that bill number 2518 is passed by a vote of 8-0. Excuse me, sir, the gentleman that just walked in, I remember you from the Fernwood meeting. I don't know if you realize that has been tabled for this evening. Just thought I'd mention that. We're not going to vote on the Fernwood project this evening, sir. I mean, you're welcome to stay, but I saw you just walk in, but we're not voting.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for.
All right. Clerk, will you please read the next bill on the agenda, bill number 3718?
3718, an ordinance to vacate a public way, a public place located wholly within the unincorporated portion of St. Joseph County to wit, petitioner Patrick and Kathleen Kowalski and Alex Kowalski Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Hammond. Mr. Nolan, committee report, please, sir.
President, bill number 2618, full council with a favorable recommendation.
37.
37.
That one too?
Mike Danch.
Mr.
From,
Danch.
yeah, thank you. Mike Danch from Dan Charner Associates, 1643 Commerce Drive here in South Bend, representing petitioners. All we're asking for is to take the portion of Huron Street between Oriole and Westfield and vacate it. It is a paper street. There is no improvements there whatsoever. We're just trying to recombine the petitioner's property into a larger parcel. So this is part of that process, and then we'll go through a subdivision after this. So we would ask for your favorable approval.
Thank you. Any questions from council for Mr. Danch? Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We'll now open the public hearing on Bill 3718. Is there anyone wish to speak in favor of this bill? Is there anyone that wishes to speak in opposition to the bill? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on 3718. Do I hear a motion on the bill?
Second.
Motion to pass Bill number 3718 was made by Councilman Krasinski, was seconded by Councilwoman Nolan. Any further discussion on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Mr. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd?
Yes.
Mr. Tanzarek?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Aye.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Let the record show that Bill number 3718 was passed by a vote of 8-0. Thank you. Clerk, will you please read the next bill, Bill number 3418?
An ordinance amending ordinance 6017, the same being an ordinance establishing salaries and fixing the numbers of employees of St. Joseph County for the year 2018 public employment.
Mr. McCahill, committee report, please, sir.
Mr. President, this comes to the council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you very much. Petitioner?
Thank you. Again, Neil Weissman, Deputy Chief Public Defender of St. Joseph County. My office is at 212 South Taylor. PD office is in the courthouse. This item, 3418, apparently was on last month's agenda. We had a mix-up in our office. Nobody was here, so I would apologize for that. It is actually the other part of the one we already talked about. This is the one where we're transferring the individual from misdemeanor court over to juvenile court.
Any questions from council on 3418? Hearing none, we'll open the public hearing on the bill. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of this bill? Is there anyone that wishes to speak in opposition to the bill? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing on Bill 3418. Do I hear a motion?
Motion approved.
Do I hear a second? Motion to pass Bill number 3418 was made by Councilman McCahill and seconded by Councilwoman Hess. Any further discussion on this bill? Hearing none, clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mr. Krasinski?
Bobby.
Yes. Mr. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd?
Yes.
Mr. Tanzarek?
Yes.
Mr. Cahill?
Aye.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Morton?
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you. Let the record show that Bill number 3418 is passed by a unanimous vote of 8-0. Clerk, will you please read Bill number 4018?
2019 Budget Department, Community Corrections, Community Corrections Advisory Board fiscal year 2019 appropriation request.
Good evening.
Mr. McCahill, committee report, please.
Mr. President, this comes to the council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you very much. Petitioner?
I apologize.
No,
So
you're-
eager to present this to you this evening. Good evening. My name is Kate Williams. I'm the Executive Administrator to the Community Corrections Advisory Board with offices in the 1896 Courthouse at 101 South Main Street in South Bend. For your consideration tonight is the fiscal year 19 Community Corrections budget from the Indiana Department of Corrections. Because it's a state grant program, we run on a fiscal year, which means our budget year will start on July 1. This grant award covers a variety of programs, including all of the adult community corrections programs and 4 others housed in the prosecutor's office, superior court, adult probation, and a jail treatment program. No matching funds are required from the county, and the total award is approximately $2.6 million. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions from council for the petitioner? Thank you. Hearing none, we will open the public hearing. Public hearing on Bill number 4018. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of this bill? Does anyone wish to speak in opposition to the bill? Hearing none, I will close the public hearing at this time. Do I hear a motion on 4018? Motion to pass bill number 4018 was made by Councilman Nolan and was seconded by Councilwoman Hess. Any further comments from any council member on 4018? Hearing that, clerk, will you please take the roll?
Mr. Nolan?
Yes.
Ms. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Toland?
Yes.
Mr. Tanzar?
Yes.
Mr. Kato?
Aye.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Krasinski?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Carried 8-0.
Thank you. Let the record show that bill number 40-18 was passed by a vote of 8-0. That concludes public hearing for this evening. Next on the agenda is unfinished business. Next on the agenda is new business. Hearing none, next on the agenda is privilege of the floor, which basically means anyone can come up and talk 3 minutes on any item that's not on tonight's agenda.
That's what we said.
Good evening, esteemed council members. My name is Ogechi Ike, and I am here to propose.
Ma'am, could you please state your name and address for the record? I'm sorry.
Sorry, my name is Ogechi Ike, and my address is 50655 Tarrington Way, Granger, Indiana.
Thank you.
And I would like to propose municipal broadband for St. Joseph County. As you are well aware, in December last year, the FCC voted to repeal net neutrality protections for American citizens. And this is the facts in terms of, and he, like, in hopes that to help the market provide better, or at least he claims, to help the market provide better services without protections from the FCC. But if we start with the facts, 3 out of 4 Americans only have one choice of broadband providers. And this actually stems from a 2002 ruling that the FCC reclassified high-speed internet as information service, which is unregulated, instead of telecommunications, which is regulated, and in hopes that the market would take care of itself. But according to the aforementioned fact, that is not so. That's not what happened. In fact, when you compare the US to other countries such as the UK, Netherlands, South Korea, Japan, we pay way more for something that is vital for our economy, for us to communicate with one another than other countries. At least other countries in terms of where we are as technically the richest country in the world. And this is largely because there is no competition from AT&T, Verizon, or Comcast. Other cities that actually have municipal broadband, such as Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Longmont, Colorado, actually have had an uptick in businesses in terms of startups that actually have come in, young people who have been exasperated by New York or the Bay Area in California. And I would like to propose that we can actually have something similar to that here. using fiber optic cables such as the ERB in Chattanooga, Tennessee. They were able to, over the course, starting in 2009, and with a 1999 ruling, they were able to attract many startups and also providing at least sample broadband services for the city. For example, their 1 gig in terms of gigabit speed is about $67 a month for that speed, unlimited. Most of the providers only offer about 300, even in some places even go as low as 10, despite the fact that in 2015, the FCC said that the least you can do is 25 megabytes per second in terms of downloading speed and uploading speed. And I believe that we can actually use that to help transfer audiences because of the impact the internet has on education, because of services such as Skillshare, Khan Academy, MIT Open Software, and Open Culture, in terms of providing continuing education beyond college itself. And as the fact that education is cost of going to college is rising at a point that is honestly insane, we need to look towards more, because of the broader approach in terms of education. For example, I believe the average for Notre Dame, for example, is that. So I ask you to at least consider looking into municipal broadband, particularly using fiber optic cables, because that actually provides a much better, up to about 10 gigabytes in terms of bandwidth, and it's a lot easier and much more secure than regular cable, which, by the way, none of the providers here actually use fiber optics.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your input and your insight. Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
Any questions? Council?
Yeah.
No.
Actually, you're talking about municipal broadband, which actually is kind of a new term to me, but I get it. You're actually talking about taking this fiber optic cable to each location to be there. It's not wireless, for the most part.
No, it is not.
Well, here would be my suggestion, maybe you're already on this path, but I think you'd need much higher percentage of success at the South Bend City Council and or even Mishawaka. St. Joe County, we don't have a whole lot to do with the infrastructure in the city of South Bend. So I mean, things like this could happen in residential homes, but it's going to expand from one of the cities. It's not going to start in the county, I would expect. So if you have the same conversation with the cities, I think your success rate would be much more efficient. But thank you. It's a great idea, and you're absolutely right. It's increased dramatically.
Yes, because in terms of, like, when I was researching for Chattanooga, they actually saw it as a means of survival, because over at least the past couple of years, 346,000 people have left more rural areas into the cities to find jobs, because unfortunately in most rural areas there just isn't. In fact, about 25% of the U.S. population are in more metropolitan areas. So in terms, when people actually say that this isn't possible, it's technically because we live in what a lot of people would call dead space, because when you look to say, like, in many places in the EU or even South Korea, where does actually have the fastest internet, at least in the country, in the world, it is technically less spread out. But a lot of it is because the governments there have been able to look into the future and predict that, okay, we have to invest and actually help out our people.
Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to take this privilege before? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.